Yeah,
What's up?
forgot.
What's up,
It's gonna
everybody?
go. Good morning. Good morning. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. I didn't go. I go through the whole list every morning. This week we don't have to apologize to Instagram, y'all. We got Instagram. We are official. We here, y'all. Listen, TikTok. Look, Instagram. We live. So we got two special guests. One had to run to the bathroom real quick, but we got two special guests, man. Love these guys. Geniuses. When I say geniuses, I'm talking everything credit. Y'all know anything credit, I refer over to Shanice, but Shanice is a one-person show. These two guys figured out how to make AI and software and the systems do all the things that Shanice can do. You know, I'm not saying it's better than Shanice, but it is faster.
Yeah, Johnny. He's gonna put you on the bus, then throw you
Hey,
under
look,
it.
you.
Man,
Our people know. If I ain't throwing her under the bus, I'm not happy that morning. So we
oh my,
always get some love.
well, you know,
But appreciate you guys for coming. So we have Damien and Jeremy. These are the owners, CEOs. I'm not sure what titles you guys want to go with. A software called Mustard. Mustard is a very, very powerful tool. It's a credit repair. Actually, you know what? I won't even describe it. You guys can describe it. So go ahead and let us know a little bit about the software, and then we can get to it. I don't want to diminish the value of what you guys created.
Nah, man, it's only valuable when other people that know what we do talk about it, right? When I talk about it, it's like you can't be a prophet in your own land. So it's like I'm talking to a dead horse when I'm talking, right? Especially the way I talk, being Cuban from Miami. Jeremy probably been kicking me a couple times as we're talking, but that's why we made sure this call was together live in person, right? We're both right here.
Hey KP, this is our first time me and Damien meeting face to face in person.
Hey, listen,
Don't
y'all
believe
beat
that.
us. Y'all, me and
We making
Shanice.
history.
Look, me and Shanice been partners for what, almost 2 years now. Still ain't meet in person yet.
Yeah.
Oh
how,
wow.
why is that, KP? Because I was in Florida and you was like, play football. But we not going to get into that.
Excuses.
I was in his town, Charlize. I was in his town. He's like, "Oh man, Super Bowl or some game." I was like, "Bro, I don't
Same, same.
watch this, bro."
Sports over partners, like what?
Yeah, bro.
I might not be who you think I am. You guys never know.
KP catfishing. He's catfishing.
You know, the way I look at it, man, when it comes to sports, you know, we have a coach. Me and Jeremy hired a coach. Coaches need coaches, right? So we hired a coach for ourselves, and he asked me, "Hey, how was Super Bowl?" I told him, "Bro, I don't watch sports, man. I'm not gonna about to sit there and watch men live their dreams while I'm still trying to find mine." You know,
Mm.
that's me. That's just me, right? I don't care how many dunks or whatever that's called that LeBron does. I don't care. I want to dunk myself, you know. That's just me. But I do get turned away because of sports a lot from other men in the business. So yeah, so thank you for the intro, KP, and I just wanted to say thank you for bringing us on here. We've known you for quite some time. We've worked, we talk on the outside, not just Facebook. So we're always helping each other out, and I'm always willing to get behind people that are doing something good. And I know what you're doing is good, right? I see your value. I always seen it. So me and Jeremy, I've always been there. Always thinking of KP. What can we do? How can we help? What can we say? So the feeling's mutual with us to you guys. Sharnice, we're meeting for the first time like this, but I see you, right?
Thank you.
And I'm glad the personality matches the way that you write, because you're a little feisty, and I love that, right? But yeah, so Mustard, what a little bit about me and Jeremy. We started in credit repair about 4 years ago, and the reason why we started Mustard was there was a lot of companies out there that you know, they have softwares, and then when you go ask questions, if you've been in credit repair business for a while, you know that, you know, certain groups in certain places, you can't ask a question or they kick you out of their group, right? So you're not even getting what, you know, you signed up for. And then they give you a little course and they say, hey, you're going to be a superhero now and you're going to save the world. And then you don't even know how to do credit, right? So then you go around messing up 15 to 20 people's credits before you realize that you need to really learn credit, right? But by that time, you've already spent maybe 10, 15,000, like I did in my first 6 months in credit repair. And I noticed that a lot of credit repair people that get into the space spend $10,000 to $15,000 in their first 6 months and still made $0, right? So that kind of sucks. The ones that, you know, when you're faced with that, there's very good people that are going to do great for this industry, but they shy away because they spent so much money and they didn't get anything back, right? So what's left is the people that are hustling in the wrong way, right? The ones that are still good, that are still here, like us, like us on this call, you know, we went through the struggles and trials, and we made it, right? But the person that, you know, normally the person that's going to make it through losing 10, 15,000 is the guy that's going to be saying, hey, I'll get your credit right in 30 days by just doing affidavits, right? So then those guys win because they have the money for the marketing and the audience, right? And then now the industry gets a bad name. When you start seeing and KP, you know how I am. I'm going to say things I'm not supposed to.
Right.
When you see the roses and the Alexes, right, the Millers and all of them, right, you start seeing the industry plagued with a bunch of BS. So we started Mustard to stop that BS.
We getting the feedback. Oh, there you go.
All right. So we stopped the BS by creating our own software. October 2021, we started the software. But we first started with Go High Level, just building automations and attaching to other softwares. But then they started doing things because they don't want us in there. They don't want us helping. So then we just said, you know what, screw this. We're going to build our own software. So what we did is we built a software that is, you're able to, I think it's like the fastest in the West, right? Where you're able to do a dispute within 3 minutes. And it's the way that it's presenting the data to you that allows you to run through it faster. We are still working on that. We're going to make the data even more fine-tuned, where it's going to tell you like specifically what's wrong with this account without you having to study that account. It's going to tell you exactly what's wrong with that account, so you can make better decisions faster without really having to dig deep and check over here, check over there, and call the client, hey, what happened in this account? And you're going to know this stuff, right? So we're going to get deeper and deeper. But the software itself, what it's made to do is that it's to make you free from having to be stuck behind a desk or hiring people to do some of the work for you, right? Because it's so easy, so fast that you can even do it from your phone, right? You can literally be at a game where KP's avoiding me and Charnice, right? And be still doing disputes while he's watching the game. You know, how much a football game lasts? 2 hours, but they only play 11 minutes, right? So for 2 hours, you can have disputed over 300 clients right from your phone while you're at the game, right? Especially if your team is losing, then you can just keep disputing. But that's what the software is, and we've coupled it together with Go High Level. We've coupled it together with Dispute Panda, and we've coupled it together with Smart Credit and My Free Score Now. So the whole gauntlet is there, what you need, right? Inside it has factual disputing, and through Dispute Panda, you can have Metro 2 letters as well. And we also, apart from the software, we also do fulfillment. We realized that a lot of credit repair companies, they get a software, they get all these things, and they don't know what they're doing. And they start ruining people's credit. So we're like, hey, look, give us that fulfillment, right? Let me talk to your clients. Because there's compliance and TSR and all these things that get in the way too, right? So let me talk to your clients. Let me close that client for you. Let me dispute for you. And let me handle the customer support for you, right? So that way, these companies can stick to learning credit repair and finding clients, right? Because when you get into credit repair, we get into for two things: fix credit, get paid. That's it, right? There's nothing else. I'm not looking to make friends. I'm looking to fix credits and make money, right? So with that being said, the way that we do it is giving the credit repair companies the opportunity to go out there, get clients so they can make money. And at the same time, they're learning credit so that they know what they're saying to get more clients, right?
Right.
So that's it for me. I'll let Jeremy jump in on that.
What more can he add to it?
Okay, let's get to work.
So we always come up with like five or six FAQs, and then we'll ask them our TikTok, YouTube viewers, our live viewers, you guys will feel free to ask questions at any time. You know, we'll stop our questions and we'll ask you guys questions. So, our first one is, what made you decide? What made you decide to build the software? Like, what was the reason for it?
Jeremy did. He pushed me. Told me, yo, you got to make this for us, man. And what really did it was me and Jeremy crossed paths in a group where we were helping people, and we got shut down from helping people. And it wasn't that we were making any money off that. You go to that group and you look it up, you're going to see all the help that we did. And they shut us down because they feel that we were going to take their clients, and we were just CROs like the other CROs. So that's what made us decide to create a software. Me and Jeremy don't have that background. You know, I do not have that background in software, but I have the goal, I have the logic, I have the money to do it, right? That's why we did it. Was because it's needed. It's needed, and it wasn't a money thing. As you can see, our prices are ridiculously lower than the other software, so it wasn't even a money thing. It was the fact that we want to change this industry because we're tired of it, right? I'm that consumer that we're trying to help. You know, my dad's, drug addict when I was a kid. My mom bipolar schizophrenic. I ran through the whole gauntlet of my mom getting beat and all this crazy stuff, right? I ended up in prison, and I realized later, I was like, man, had my family knew finance, I wouldn't be in this position, right? So I know there's a lot of kids out there that deserve this, right? And it's not so much the parent that I'm helping that child. Because if you put that child in a better community, in a better environment, they're going to learn something better than they learned when I was in the streets of Miami, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, look, that's a good story. I want to touch on it because a lot of people, and I'm sure you both have ran across this. We run across this all the time with mentees and just people inquiring. People don't really have a why. People just want money. And that's with any business, not just credit repair, but just with any business. When you talk to somebody and they're like, yo, why did you start this business? They'd be like, oh, I heard you can make a lot of money from it. What? That's it? That's literally your reason? And truth be told, that's a lot of people's reasons. And for me, it's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with wanting money, but it is something wrong with that being your goal, that being your why, because we all know Q4 for most industries or most businesses, Q4 is the hardest month. So when you come up with Q4 and it's like, oh shit, I was making 30,000 all year and now I'm only making 10,000 or less. It's like, yo, do I quit? Because the money's gone. You don't have the heart in it. You just wanted the money, and it's like, yo, Q4 is, avalanche. It all falls down. You ain't making sales because if you got to make a person decide between their family and holidays or you, what makes you think that you would ever win that battle? You know what I'm saying? That's important. Yeah. That you had a good why.
The KP, it's interesting that you mentioned that. Is because when I got into the credit repair space, I didn't want to do credit repair. I wrote a book back in 2019 called "Effed Up My Credit," and put it on Amazon. It made it to like Amazon bestseller list. And even in the book, I got other people's name in there that fixed credit. Like I didn't have because I wasn't fixing credit at the time. And I told people this isn't a book about how to fix credit. It's more so on why to fix credit. And so I just kind of talked about my story and stuff, but it wasn't until, of course I was a mortgage loan officer, and our bank was offering these, what they call low to moderate income loans, right? For low to moderate income borrowers. And I started looking at that target market, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, why do all these low to moderate income borrowers look so much like me? Number one. Number two, we got this great program, but they're not even qualifying for it because of their credit. And that's one of the things that kind of pushed me into saying, okay, let me try to do something and help other people like I did for myself on a bigger scale. And then, of course, the bank found out about it and they gave me a choice. They say, you either stay with the bank or you got to leave. I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to leave out on my own hands. It's crazy that the fact that I'm fixing people's credit and going to help them get mortgages, that's the issue. But I understand the bigger issue is because the better the credit is, the less you can charge them on the interest. So therefore, all of that. So yeah, that was my why.
Yeah, he's trying to fight the mafia.
Yeah, that sucks that story even had to happen because, like you said, in reality, the more people credit I fix, the more people we can get loans. So yeah, I get it. They want the higher interest, but if you really think about it, if you can get 100 people approved at 3%, that is so much more money than getting 30 people approved at 30.
Yeah,
So the banks, I don't know, man. They're killing me. I guess
I get political. I get deep into stuff, right? And then you got, BlackRock has nothing to do with buying homes, and they own. I think they went to $160 billion in assets that they purchased, which is their homes. What do they need those homes for, right? Like, you think about it, they're trying to keep us away from buying the homes so they can buy the homes and they can control the population in the communities, right? You also got Walmart right now. Walmart created a huge compound. I think it's like if I remember, it's in Alabama, or I don't remember where it is, but now they created this huge compound where if you work for them, you get to live in that compound, and that goes back into the factory cities, right? The factory cities where Michigan, where they have production in that city, and then once that city is done with, that they've created with the money they need to, they leave everybody high and dry. That's what you got the water in Flint, Michigan, right? It goes deeper than just credit repair. This goes deep. It goes deep into, generations. It goes deep into hurting us here now because our children won't have an opportunity. It just creates more business for them, which is kind of messed up. When you look at the bureaus, I talk about that too. When you look at the bureaus, you got lobbyists, right? If you're woke, right, right, where you got lobbyists and Visa, MasterCard, they pay these credit bureaus, they lobby that. The credit bureaus, and the credit bureau's interest is in their best interest to keep your score at a rate where they can, help Visa make some more money. In turn, helps them make money because they're paying for the pulling of reports and stuff, right? And I think it goes deeper than that. And I'm not going to talk about it because I might get shot. I might be on the road back home, and you'll never see me again, right? But
that black van pull up.
I'm sitting next to him. I don't need no sniper trying to hit him while I'm right here, man.
Too much game. All right. The next question, I think I feel like you answered this, but our next one was, how'd you two partner up? And I think you said it was with that group, right?
Yeah.
Actually, let's go in depth. How did you two partner up? Like, that's how you guys met, but how did you actually form the team?
So Damien, when I was working on some stuff in the affiliate realm, I was teaching credit repair business owners on how to connect with realtors and loan officers, right? That was my background. And I'm like, I'm gonna do this webinar thing or whatever. And like I said, me and Damien had met in the group and we had talked before. And I put out this ugly looking funnel. And Damien hit me up. He was like, bruh, take the funnel down. Let me make the funnel for you. Just give me some time. He's like, you're not gonna get nobody signed up for this free webinar. And so he did the funnel. I mean, he did a phenomenal job with it. And I'm like, man, this is dope. And then one of the other guys that used to be our partners, I had put them two in contact. Because I'm like, hey, this guy's doing this and Damien doing this. You guys need to meet. So they met, they connected. And Damien had always had this vision talking about mustard, even when we had talked or whatever. So Damien hooked up with that gentleman. And then Damien was like, I want Jeremy in this too. And so that's how, I kind of got brought into it. I'm not a developer or anything like that. I just, I'm just a credit repair person that teach other credit repair folks and stuff. And so we thought it would be a good fit at the time. And so again, you kind of know our story a little bit, KP.
Yeah.
And me and Damien, our friendship.
We won't venture down the top road. Let's stay on the light road.
Yeah. That's what I say. You know the story, but we're a strong friendship. We've been through a lot together. And that's just how we came together and how we ended up partnering up. And I thank God for Damien and his family and just being a part of that vision that he had, starting this thing called Mustard.
Cool. Listen, love it. People hear our story all the time because I kind of forced our friendship. I was like, hey, be my friend. And she was like, what? And we were friends.
Still shaking her head.
I don't even know when I said yes.
I swear, look, I promise you I did it. I was just, he just wouldn't leave me alone.
I was asking her, this is when we were all using a similar software we won't mention, but I asked her for help one day and she was like, oh yeah, just do XYZ. I was like, hey, she's smart. So I was like, let me keep asking her for help.
Yeah.
And then eventually we were just like, all right, we're friends now. Cool. Now I know I can ask you for help. And then it just kind of grew from there. Like, that's just the truth. Like, people really
That's the best way, though. Honestly, that's the best way.
Ulterior motive. I didn't have any motive at all. It was just I really needed help. And she was really fucking smart. So I was like, yo.
Maybe I should start talking to Sharnice more than KP now.
Hey, I tell you, listen, Damon, you know me, bro. I tell people all the time, when it comes to credit, I'm like, listen, I know credit. but she knows credit. You know what I'm saying? If you want to go down to the laws and the FCRAs and the FTC, Shanice, I sent you Shanice's consultation link. You know what I'm saying? Like that just it's just that easy. It's easier to do it that way than for me to go look it up.
Oh, that's awesome, Chinese. I mean, you know, I know this is not a back and forth conversation. I know you guys are gonna drill us and try to find out the goods about us, right? I'm gonna pull my record up here soon. But I would love to talk to you, you know, a little more on that. So you've been doing credit for how long now?
Oh, Jesus. I hired a company in 2019. I got my credit butchered because the person didn't know what they were doing. And all of my accounts ended up getting red flagged almost immediately. They were like, we're not disputing, we're not investigating. And at the time, I didn't understand any of the notices and stuff like that. So my score dropped. I did everything that I was supposed to do. My score tanked. Then they weren't investigated anymore. And I was like, okay, well, what laws actually apply? And when I kept asking them, you know, well, what are y'all doing? They said, well, they're just sending letters that say not me, not mine. And I was like, bro, like, wait. So I had to learn the laws and like thoroughly learn them. And eventually it escalated to me just suing credit bureaus because I don't have time to wait.
Yeah. And so that's, you know, that's crazy, right? Like I always tell people all the time, like, you know, because we do Metro 2 and we do factual and we're gearing up with you know, we've done a couple arbitrations here and there, but you know, we want to get into like litigation heavier. So me and Jeremy have been studying stuff. But when you look at factual disputing, I always tell people you're arguing a fact that's true, you know, and you're trying to argue that fact even though it's true. That's why I like Metro 2 because of the compliance. It has nothing to do with the facts, right? And I always give the analogy of a McDonald's, right? You go to McDonald's, that might be the #1 McDonald's in the whole world, and they have the best service, best talent, best food, best everything. But in comes a person with a wheelchair, tries to go to the bathroom. It's not wheelchair accessible. Therefore, the government will shut down that dining room until they fix that problem. That's what compliance is, right? It's following the rules, right? So I think that they all work. It's just having the right flow and combination. But what you said there was very important. That's why, to me, factual, I never understood it to the point. I mean, in the beginning, I never understood it in my first 6 months. I was like, I don't get it. I know this person owns that debt, and I'm Christian. I'm a Christian man. And that's during the time that I was really getting into my faith. And I'm like, how do I tell these bureaus a BS lie when this person really does own this credit card?
Look, so after this whole podcast, get with me and I'll show you a lot of stuff that's based on facts. I use facts to go to court, and I'm not using nothing but facts because at the end of the day, it's not about them owing the debt. It's about, is it, you know, again, is it compliant? Is it reporting correctly and stuff like that? So you have to be able to see. So the tool that you guys are, you know, it's coming out with is going to be able to identify what's wrong with the account and save time and stuff. I think that's extremely useful. Look, I think it's extremely useful because for me, I have to go through, well, not me, my team, to go through and look at all of these accounts to determine what's wrong with the account. Because if it's a negative account, chances are, you know, it has more than one negative thing about it. So where do you find the errors? What are the errors? You know what I'm saying? So if you have a tool that's cuts that's immediately writing a letter. Like, I like compliance, but I like factual better. I'm going to court with facts. I'm not going to court on compliance. You know what I'm saying? If you are a credit repair owner and you're using compliance, if the intent is to go to court, you have to know compliance. You have to really know compliance, because you can't walk in there. You know, those lawyers, they're going to check into your business. They're going to, you know, are you licensed? Are you bonded? You know what I'm saying? All types of stuff. So you can't play with big hitters and not be ready for it. You know what I'm saying? But if you're just going for the deletions or whatever, I think I could give you a couple tips or whatever. Just reach out to me.
We'd love to have you in the group too.
Okay.
We'd love to have her in our group. Do something in our group.
Yeah, and honestly, I've understood factual now, right? Like I've grown into it. I've been able to do some great stuff before I came to Metro 2, but it's in the beginning part where we don't understand that, you know. That's my issue is with CROs, that they come in and they see the BS that's out there with the 3-letter people, And then they go and try to do disputes, and it's all template letters, and they don't even understand why you do a method of verification, why you do validations. We're just following a flow, not knowing why we're doing these things, and then we're sending the wrong letter for the wrong reasons, and then we're just getting frivolous, and we're getting these letters. We get the stall tactic letters, and then we don't know what to do with it because we're arguing facts, right? Like, and we're just trying to argue a fact. And here's the way it comes to understanding from what I learned, right? When you're doing factual, it's not the fact of the loan. It's the fact of, is it a fact that they don't have the signed contract where I signed for that loan? It's a fact they don't have that. So that's what factual became for me. Is now the facts come into the argument, not into, do I really own this debt? Because I got used to the not mine, not mine, not mine, not mine, not mine on everything, right? And I got used to in the beginning, and I realized this is pointless. I'm going months and months stressing this person out, not knowing what the price is, right? I'm charging clients $99 a month, $97, whatever that is. And they ask me how long it's going to take. And I don't know, because I'm just, throwing letters, right? And that's why I think that Metro 2 for the new person getting in, it's easier because just throw the letters, just follow a flow, just throw the letters because Metro is different, right? And then on that process, that's why we want to do this. We're in that process. We're teaching them what right? We're teaching them what we know now. It's factual. It's how to really do this, because even when I started doing Metro, I threw everything Metro, and then I realized I'm not getting the results that I thought I was going to get. And so I started mixing in. I started really analyzing and saying, you know what, these accounts are BS accounts. Let me throw Metro at these, but this one has some strong arguments. Let me go factual on this. Right. So I learned how to distinguish that. And even in our flow, we created a flow that helps us understand from factual to a Metro, when should you do what, right? So thank you for that. But yeah, that's basically, why me and Jeremy are doing this, is to educate and to give the tools needed. So you're not a CRO trying to learn systems. You're a CRO trying to learn the system. You know what I mean?
Right.
By the system, I don't want to cut y'all off. I got about 5 questions from TikTok. They've been asking while y'all talking. Yeah, I kept muting. If you ever see me talking and you can't hear me, I'm responding to them to let them know that I
you're yelling at your kids.
Nah, that's TikTok. This
like KP mean, he a mean daddy.
All right. So the first one came from, I think it's Taven, Taaven. I'm not sure if it's still here, but it says, "Can I?" And I'm gonna read it exactly how they said it, so y'all don't think I'm tripping. Can I fix my own credit with this? So not fixed. They wrote fixed with the ed. We know what they meant, but the question was for you guys.
Yeah. I mean, I don't make fun of people's writing, but it goes to show that if you're not paying attention to your writing, you're not paying attention to the numbers, right? So please pay attention to your numbers. And I'm not trying to throw shade or be stupid about it. I'm just saying that because I'm dumb as hell, and until I started to get financially literate and actual literature literate, I understood where I was standing in life. But I'll let Jeremy answer that question.
Yeah, because that's how I write. I write fixed. I write past tense a lot. But can you fix your own credit with our system with Mustard? Yeah, we do have a DIY system within Mustard. I mean, you would have to go through a CRO, a credit repair business owner, but you can be set up with the DIY system. And the cool thing about it is because when you're in our DIY program, like clients that use, especially clients that we outsource for, they also have DIY attached to it. We go in their groups and we teach and educate their people on how to utilize the system, how to utilize DIY, what letters to send, so on and so forth. And now we've made it to where they can do the DIY with factual, and if they want to do DIY with Metro 2 compliance, there's an available way to do that as well. But they still would have to go through a CRO, through a credit repair organization. But yeah, we can, Mustard can facilitate that as well.
Now, I have a follow-up question for him. Then when you say they got to go through a CRO, you explained they should know what a CRO is by now. Is there any alternative to that? Like, how would the average consumer use Mustard just for them? Like, does it have that capability at all, or will they 100% have to be assigned to a CRO?
Well, right now, so we don't have a system set up to where it's from Mustard to consumer. That's another program that we are considering and looking at down the road. The important thing about going through a CRO is because we don't want you just to kind of wing this thing by yourself. Like what we do is we train our CROs when somebody's using your DIY program. just because they're using your DIY program and they're not paying you a monthly service fee or nothing, you still need to be there as a big brother or a big sister to help guide them along the way. So if I got somebody to sign up in my DIY program and I look at month 3 and I see that they haven't sent out any letters, I'm gonna shoot them a text or shoot them an email. Hey, just checking in with you, saying how you doing. Do you need any help with anything? I'm not charging them nothing. They're in my system using DIY, but I'm a guide for them, because you all know how discouraging it can get for somebody that's trying to fix their own credit. And month 2, they get this stall letter and then they don't know what to do. They give up. And so that's why it's important to have the CRO assigned to them to be their coach, to be their trainer along the way. Because at the end of the day, we just want to help empower people all over, no matter who you are, where you are with your credit. And so you'll be assigned a CRO that's going to be your coach along the way. But yeah, for right now, that's how they would have to come in.
Yeah, and I'll add to that.
Wait, let me ask him. Oh, and ask you guys his question, because he was talking. He wrote it while Jeremy was talking. Do you guys assign that to me? I'm assuming he's talking about the CRO.
No, you just have to find the one. I mean, we can definitely work out something where,
if anything, what we could probably do, we'll create an account. We'll just have a T account. That way,
I was there right now. We'll just give you an account. You run it through there, right?
We'll do
The reason Mustard doesn't take on the clients ourselves is we don't want to compete with credit repair companies. We know that in order for us to impact a lot of people, we need to help a lot of people impact more people, right? So I can take on all the clients, but it doesn't make any sense for us, right? We can go straight to consumers, but it doesn't make sense because then it's only us. We need a team, and we're crusaders. It's about a mission here. It's not about me making money off of every person that comes to credit repair. I turn people down, and even my friends. I say, look, man, I'm not doing credit repair myself anymore, but I have a company in the local area that can help you. I'm not getting involved in that anymore. It's not necessary. If I want to really impact, our goal really is impact, right? So that's why we don't take the clients ourselves. And adding to what Jeremy was saying as far as that goes, it's important that you're teaching these people, because even though you're not getting paid from this and a DIY portion, that person still might receive that stall letter that Jeremy said, right? But if you're there coaching them and they're with them and they don't know what to do next, right? A lot of times people are just going to be, because we're in 2023, everybody wants ease, right? We all order everything from our phones, right? So people are going to say, hey, look, I tried it for my first round, second round. That might turn into a client for the CRO, where they can just say, look, you handle it for me, because they already see that you know what you're doing, right? They already see that you're the person that knows what to do, right? So you're guiding them, and they're like, look, I don't know how to explain it, but when you're there for people, people really move with you, right? And that's an important thing. Even if you're helping somebody with DIY, a lot of credit repair companies do more things, like they do business funding, they do business incorporating, they do mortgages, cars, whatever else, right? They do other things. So even if you help them with the DIY, there's still an opportunity to earn your income by offering one of your other products. Credit repair is the first place for everything. Having good credit is the biggest thing. Our neighborhoods don't know about that.
Yeah, they don't. The next one came from Doris, and I guess this is to us, but it says, "Is this different from T?" Yes. So we have the same vision in terms of fixing credit and getting you guys financial literate, but it looks like Mustard is catering specifically to CROs and ensuring that they know how to help individuals, as we're catering toward individuals and making sure that you guys had a financial literacy. So it's kind of like we literally go hand in hand. We just I guess I didn't figure it out until just now, but it's like we are teaching you guys financial literacy so you can understand it, not necessarily so you can fix your own credit, but just so you can have that literacy. Because like Damien just stated, when you get those stall letters or it takes time, we're going to get frustrated. I can tell you right now, all four of us, before we knew anything about credit, we probably all got frustrated, But now that we're veterans in the game, it's like I almost expect a stall letter after my first round. Almost 100% of the time, I almost expect it at this point, because we all know that the credit bureaus are a-holes. I won't go dirty mouth, but we know this at this point. We know that all three credit bureaus have been sued before, and ongoing future lawsuits are probably going to be filed. But it's because of that knowledge and education that we have, where we T wants to teach you guys that, so like it's gonna take time, and then Mustard, they're teaching the professionals that you want to go to, so that way you have people that you can trust. So it's not the same, no, but it is the same kind of, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of like saying, it's a school, and over here you learn wood shop, over there you learn, mathematics, and over here you learn language arts, right? So it's the same thing. Look, that's why for us, it's the same thing at the end of the day, but it's our focus, right? Our focus is not working directly with the consumers, working with credit repair companies or consumers that want to become credit repair companies, right? And then I know that T does, other automations and stuff like that as well. I don't care, that's not what we're here for. Like KP has his own business, right? We have even Matt Listro, the owner of CreditCom, who has his own software, right? And he's been alive in our groups. We talk to him all the time. We don't care that people would choose his software over ours. I don't care. The point is that collectively we're going to clean up this industry so that the consumer, ultimately, the people that you're teaching, you guys are teaching, they're the winner, right? It's about the consumer. Like we need to stop. Like credit repair companies need to stop thinking about their pockets and start thinking about the industry, start thinking about the communities they live in, right? Because that'll bring you money. That'll bring you money. So that's why a lot of these companies get violations, because a lot of credit repair companies get violations because under CROA, and I'm going to say this here live on this call, I always say it, especially when consumers are hearing, under CROA, you have the right not to pay that credit repair company, especially if they're not doing the work. You have that right. It's there protecting you from that, right? So I hate it when a credit repair company charges a client knowing they ain't going to do nothing for that company, for that client. They charge that client and then they want to fight them on chargebacks and all these things. Like, bro, you didn't do nothing. Give them back the money. Minus your cost. If you're good with your clients, I've been good with my clients. Whenever I feel like I can't do anything for them and I've gone 3, 4, 5, 6 months, I go to them, hey, here's your money back, less the fees that it took for me to send out these letters. I don't want to near your money. Let me help you from here on out. Take this course. I have a course where you can really learn this, right? Or I even refer them out and say, look, I got a lawyer in the area that can do this part. Stop. We need to stop thinking about our pockets. We need to start thinking about the consumers. Look at the state of this country. Look at where we are right now, right? These people ain't helping us, right? Who helps the poor people? Who helps the poor people? The government. Why? Because they give them a subsidy. Say, sit your ass down and stay right there. Who helps the rich people? They help themselves. But the ones that are in the middle, the ones that are trying to do the right thing in their lives, who's helping us? No one.
Yeah, we talked about that in the previous podcast. The middle class is the hardest class to live in because we can't afford everything and we don't have the money to just live lavish. Yeah.
And they don't want to help you. And the government doesn't, I've been down and out, but because my numbers look good on paper, they deny me on food stamps for an emergency, right? Or they deny me something for an emergency. That's the craziest thing to me, man. It's like, bro, I've paid my dues. I've paid my taxes. I've done everything right. And the moment that I need you for a month or two, you tell me, nah, how the hell? So we got to
And I believe that educating people is key, and sometimes that's a hard thing to do because sometimes our circle don't want to be educated. They're in the microwave generation and they just want it now. One of the craziest things that I saw was with that whole PPP loan stuff, right? And it was a system that the government created, and it was legal for you to do that for your business. Now, some people went and did some crazy stuff with it, and that's what you saw on TV. That's what you saw on Facebook, the bad things that people did with it. And what they did, that scared genuine people that had businesses that could have taken advantage of that help. That scared them away, and those that wasn't educated on it. Who's not educated on it? Those that aren't educated in financial literacy. And unfortunately, you're looking at the Black and the brown community because we didn't grow up with that. We didn't grow up with that type of education, right? And so my mom was just trying to keep the lights and the water on at the same time. Like we had options. You want to drink this month or you want to see, which one you want to do. But the fact, that's why I love people like you, Shanice, KP, and our circle is because we take this personally. We want to educate people, but we all get frustrated when people don't want to be educated. And that's the frustrating thing to us. And then when we see our people spending things and spending money on things of no value to them, as opposed to just an experience, we shake our head at that. And I try not to be so judgmental because I was in that place before. But we take it personal, you guys. Those that are consumers that work for credit repair companies, when we get that stall letter back, we take it personal. We want your credit to be just as good as we said it's going to be. And you do have those people that's really trying to change the industry like that. I see KP busting at his kids again.
Oh no, y'all good. Y'all,
He is.
could you hear me?
No,
Yeah, oh, all right.
No, I was just playing. I thought,
I
No,
can
look,
say no, he
the
is.
first time I laid over, I was talking to TikTok, and then my son had asked me a question, so I had to answer him. But I do got some more. Like, got 4 more questions. Like TikTok be active. Like Facebook and the rest of them, they kind of staggering, but TikTok be active, and the
I'm
feed
loving
just
this
moves.
TikTok thing, man. I might have
Yeah.
to jump on
So
TikTok.
so what I try to do is I try to like write their questions down, and I let them know like, yo, once he finished talking, I'll answer it or I exit. But unapologetic, that's the username. They said, will I learn how to start a credit repair company with this software?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, it's interesting that they say that is because one of the things that Mustard is doing, we're doing just that. We're teaching people how to start a credit repair company from beginning to end. You know, we have a program called Crib, and we really haven't put it out publicly yet a lot. You know, we have a little bit, but and it's Crib, it's credit repair business in a box, where we do everything for you. We set up the entity, we get your EIN, we set up your website, we get your merchant, all of that set up. And the cool thing about it is that we run and operate your business for the first 12 months.
Oh, wow.
Our team, our consultants, our disputers, as well as our customer service team, they actually do the work for you for the first 12 months. We put some money on your account for Dispute Panda, and so you can have some letters and stuff that's being generated. And so we now have that product called Crib, and people are liking it. We signed a person up last week, and he's just loving the fact that he doesn't have a lifted finger for the most part. He answers a few questions, but we take care of all that because of our experience being CROs. Like, look how long a lot of times we have to go to this group, to that group, to this person, to that person, just to figure out what to put in our contract. You know, what letter use, what system to use. So the fact that we can help people build their business, and now they have a software to use as well. So yeah, to answer the question, we do that also for those that looks to start a credit repair business. We help them from the beginning.
Yeah, and I'll add to that. Like in our credit repair in a box, the goal there is we're teaching you marketing, we're teaching you credit repair, credit itself. There's a difference, right? People need to understand that. Credit and credit repair, 2 different things.
Yep.
Okay. Credit is understanding the finance and how to leverage that credit. Credit repair is I don't fuck up. Sorry, TikTok world. I keep saying things I shouldn't be saying.
Look, we curse.
I don't messed up, and you know I gotta get back on playing field, right? So in that beginning, when you're doing credit repair, there's no sense in actually learning financial literacy because you're gonna learn something you're never gonna put into play, right? What you need to learn is how to put yourself in a mindset that you don't fall behind on bills. That you know that sometimes because it's credit repair. People need to understand it's not. Let me remove items from your report. That's not gonna do anything for you. That's just gonna lower your score in most cases, right? So credit repair is, what is your goal? Are you trying to buy a house? If you are trying to buy a house, is it going to be in 6 months or a year and a half from now? If you need to do it in 6 months, then you have to look at your report and you have to be willing to say, hey, I'm going to pay this debt, right? You have to be willing because what goal is to buy the house in the next 6 months. Some people are going to be like, nah, I ain't paying that debt. But when you really understand, it's like, if I don't pay that debt, I'm going to continue paying these high rates, never going to get out of this debt anyway. So let me just take care of that debt so that now I can save money from renting into a mortgage because I'm always going to save money. Plus my rates are lower. Now I'm living better. So sometimes, yeah, your goal is to get rid of those get out of the house in 6 months. Then first 3 months, we're going to attack whatever can be attacked. The next 2 months, we're going to go ahead and start negotiating these things and get it paid. And you can't just pay these debts. You got to make sure you get it in writing saying, hey, I'm going to pay this debt. I'm not acknowledging nor am I verifying that this debt is mine. I just need this thing off my report. So I'm going to pay this amount of money if you take it off my report, but I need you to send it to me in writing saying that you're going to remove it.
I want you to pause right there. And the only reason I want you to pause because my partner, here she go, she has a remedy for that. So don't, and I'm not saying that's wrong. That is the method that we're used to doing. But I can tell you right now, what Shanice is learning, we ain't paying if it ain't ours. We suing.
No, yeah. Of course. If it ain't ours, we're going to sue it. But what I'm saying is, if your goal is to get that house in 6 months, man, I can't wait extra months. I need to move, So it all depends on the goal, is what I'm saying. Like, yeah, hell yeah, you got time. We gonna get this money.
I just wanted to get that clarity so people know we sue. They sue, we sue. If it ain't yours, it's there illegally, and we can prove that it's been there illegally. You can sue the credit bureaus. Do not be afraid of it.
Hey, I got me and my wife are waiting on our second settlement check from a debt collector, right? And so we moved out of an apartment. You know how when you leave an apartment, they be hating because they want you to stay there for the rest of your life and stuff. They said we didn't clean the carpet or something, right? So they hit us with this $400 bill, and so I was disputing it, going back and forth, and it never worked out. And it wasn't until I got into credit repair and started getting educated on, hey, you know, you can sue them if they're violating your rights, right? And then so I started getting educated on that. I talked to an attorney. He said, send this letter here. I sent them this refusal to pay letter. He's like, if they respond back to you, let me know. And they did that. They responded back to me. He's like, okay, we got a case. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, they're violating your rights. I'm like, all right. So he did what he did. And next thing you know, we got this letter in the mail say, hey, they've accepted your settlement. You guys will be getting, and it was in my wife's name and my name. So I got 1,000, she got 1,000. Yep. While we were going through that stuff, they sent me another letter. And I asked the attorney, I'm like, hey, they sent me another letter. He was like, what's the date on that letter? This date. He was like, okay, we're going to hit them again. And that's what we did, right? So we're about to make, what, $4,000 from a $400 debt that they end up having to remove. And it was funny because when I got that first check, the memo line said civil rights. And it hit me differently to realize that I was in a civil rights case, basically, and they settled. It didn't hit me to that extent to where this is a civil rights issue. When they're violating your rights like this is a civil rights issue. And so those of you that, you know, are woke and want to, you know, stand up for the people or whatever, that's the way you can do it. And start speaking their language. Okay, you didn't understand my letters. How about you understand this lawsuit?
Exactly.
Start speaking your language.
I love
how do you sound?
Hey, look, I'm glad you said that, because I tell you right now, like I call Shanice and be like, yo, so and so called me. She'd be like, what they say? I mean, like,
I sure do. I can give all the details.
Like, I don't have any derogatories or nothing like that, but Wells Fargo had gave me an illegal inquiry for like a business line of credit or something crazy. And she was like, nope, they ain't supposed to be on there. I was like, what you mean? You know, I'm thinking everything's cool because I did get the approved, you know, I got the card on my business line and all that. But she was like, nope, they ain't supposed to. She started ranting. And I was like, okay. So I called Wells Fargo, and they were
Wells
like,
Fargo?
yeah, it was Wells Fargo. I'll be specific. They had 4 violations, $4,000 because
isn't that like, by the way, Jeremy started going too deep and they cut his connection. Nah, I'm just kidding. His computer died. He's charging.
I figured it died. I seen him put his
civil rights came for him. But it's crazy to me, right? Like when you're talking about that KP, right? I've seen those cases with Wells Fargo, right? We did hit him. We did hit him and we did do a sue for a Wells Fargo case, and this was in the very beginning when I just learned CFPB and I messed up, right? But we did sue them, and I was sitting there looking at this, and I'm like, dude, I understand a mistake, but you're a big corporation. Like you run money, and y'all making mistakes that my child just coming out of college is gonna make.
It's not a mistake, though. That's the issue.
It's not. That's what I'm getting at. It's not a mistake. It's the lobbies. Now they're gonna cut me out for saying what I just said. But that is so crazy, man. I mean, you know, we think about it like they're very nice. When you walk into the bank, it's very nice, beautiful. They give you lollipops and coffee. You think it's a great place to be at, right? And they're just taking your money. You know, they're just putting you against the corner. You know, it's funny because now I'm not advising anybody to what you're learning here. Now go and get into an eviction or try to get an account and get in that position so you can make $1,000. Right. Don't do that. You know, just start your own credit repair company, help people make the money, right? For $1,000, you don't want to do that. There's plenty of other ways to make 1,000, right?
You didn't quit their job and everything.
You can take pictures and make 1,000. You can have a baby like our niece and just make Instagram, right? Especially when the baby is beautiful like that.
Yeah,
I was not looking like that when I was born. Trust me. I just look this way now. So
I think Journey, we picking up double sound again.
Sorry. Yeah, he just turned it down. It was just coming back in. System wasn't set up right.
Okay.
But it goes into the fact that, man, listen, if we don't as a community or as the people, right? And I say community, I mean non-government people, right? So it could be anybody, you know, it doesn't matter race, creed, color, any of that. It just, they do us all in. You're just a number on a paper. That's all you are, right? You're not even a name anymore. You know, having my name doesn't matter anymore, right? Having, I don't know, a weird name doesn't matter anymore. You're just a number these days. They know that they can take it from anybody, and they're going to take it from anybody, right? So, you know, that's just, I don't want to go too deep into that. I feel like we're going to go too deep somewhere, what I'm about to say. So I'm going to cancel that.
Yeah, we are in Starbucks.
The next one, this came from the same person, unapologetic. It says, and I think this was way back when Shanice was talking. They said, so if I really owe it, I can still get it removed.
Yeah. Even if you owe it, go ahead, Shanice.
Yeah.
Look, I'm like, you can get anything removed from your credit. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't take away your responsibility to pay the debt unless you find a violation or something, you know, then we're not talking about debt forgiveness. We're talking about debt waivers. So I'm heavy with debt waivers. I don't like debt forgiveness. Everybody with the 1099-C, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I want my money. Run me my check.
Yeah. Chinese, you're going to run the whole company now. You know that, right?
Y'all understand. She don't even talk anymore. She just sues. You call me after 5 p.m. soon.
I'm going to
get
soon. I'll be like, I'm going to get a Chinese shirt that says, say that again.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, for real.
Chinese be like, record it. I be like, how am I recorded, dog? I only got one phone.
You got another phone, don't you? You got an iPad. You got another computer. Find a recorder.
Yeah.
Hey, I did that with Equifax and LexisNexis. I had a bankruptcy in my credit report and I got it removed. But one day I decided to, and this was before I got into the credit repair game, I decided to record it. And what I did was like, because, you know, they'll get on the phone. They was like, hey, you're on a recorded line for training, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, you did say this was recorded, right? And they was like, yes. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm recording you too. That was me getting the permission and letting them know I'm recording them. And they kept on with the call just in case it came back on me. But yeah, that's how I was. I'm recording it. Forget that. And bankruptcy got removed. I'm like, y'all lying.
The last one. The last one.
I say how you sign up for Creo.
Nah, well, I'll ask that one too, but this is the last one from TikTok because I'm just getting a whole bunch of likes. It says this is from Chuck 875. Is this a course or a class? I think I'm confused. I just joined. I guess can you explain Mustard? Can you explain Mustard again? He's late.
Well, this can be anything you want it to be. You know, it could be a course where you go in every week, or it could just be a class for the day. And if it sticks, run with it. If it doesn't apply to you, let it fly, right? And Mustard is just a software where we teach you how to run a credit repair business and how to grow your credit repair business. I'll let them explain what they are. But altogether, this is just an industry powerhouse. That's all it is, right? So, KP, you funny, bro. So it's with Mustard, what it is, it's that we have a complete system from A to Z, like how to start your company, how to legally get a merchant, right? You can't use Stripe for everything, right? Stripe will shut you down. It's hard when it happened to me, right? It's hard when you got $14,000-$15,000 in the bank and they freeze that because one person said something that it was BS. You're doing the right thing. One person said something and they freeze your money. Yeah, you can get it back, you can get it out, but how do you pay your employees during the time when they froze your money? So it's very important that you know that you're setting this up legally, correctly, because this is an industry that's not like, and it shows, right? This is an industry that's not like real estate, right? Where you have to go to the state, you have to get certifications and all that. Why don't they do that in credit repair? For me personally, I think they don't do that in credit repair because they don't want us. They don't want us here taking their money from them, because that's the problem. When we're taking money from these big companies, they are going to get pissed, right? And I don't know if y'all know, but in Georgia, credit repairs, in Georgia, a credit repair organization is illegal to have in Georgia, right? So any one of us that are the credit repair business owners, we cannot help Georgia. We can by giving them a DIY and a course, right? We'll still beat the game, but we can't legally make money from Georgia. The only people in Georgia that can help with credit repair is a realtor or a lawyer, right? And there's this big organization in Georgia that, whenever we go or Matt goes or anybody goes to fight that in Georgia, they come in and saying, Your Honor, we don't need credit repair companies preying on the poor people, which is BS. We don't need credit repair companies preying on the poor people. We help these people get out of debt. And then when they ask them, how do you get them out of debt? They're like, well, we help them settle their debt. We've settled over $2 billion this year alone. Settlement is not helping that person because those people might have had something wrong on their report, that debt might not even been theirs, but now you help them settle it. So that's not real credit repair. So to me, it's just a game. And when you look at it, TransUnion is in Atlanta, right?
Equifax. Yeah, Equifax right there.
You know, so it's a double-edged sword. But again, so this is, if you attend these things a lot, it can be a course. I wasn't trying to be funny there. I'm saying it seriously. If you attend these things enough, it will be a course because you're going to get stuff from it, right? That's why I say if it applies, grab it. If it doesn't, let it fly, right? Because it's important that you're into these calls. So I commend you for getting on these calls and learning something, right? So just continue, even if it's not for you. This is good stuff, right? This is something that you can help a family member or a cousin, or a cousin is a family member, right? So the neighbor or anybody else, right?
All right, I apologize. I had to kick it in dad mode one time, but so we got the course of the class. We know it's neither. You know, we know what it is now. Did you guys answer the how do you sign up for Crib question?
No. So with Crib, when you go to our website, there's a section that says the Crib, and you click that link and you schedule a discovery call. Because the reason we do that is because with Crib, because we're doing everything from A to Z, we really have to kind of streamline and make sure that Crib is a good fit for you. We have some people that we talk to about Crib, but it wasn't a fit for them. They needed the second tier plan, or they needed the other plan. So we like to have a conversation with you first, just to make sure that we're fit and that you're fit to sign up for Crib. And once we have those conversations, then at that point, we'll discuss how to get signed up. Crib is not a small investment, right? And I say that to say not to scare anybody off, but Crib has the equivalent of being competitive with an Airbnb or with Turo. So if I want to get an Airbnb, I got to go out and get a loan to buy this house so I can start renting it out. Crib is in that vicinity to where it can compare, it can compete with industries like that because your whole entity is being set up. So it's not going to be $10 to join Crib. It's not going to be $15 to join Crib. You know what I'm saying? It's a business investment.
Let's hit that number. Let's get that drum.
Yeah. You want to hit a number, huh? So get on the discovery call, schedule an appointment, and we'll take you through it. That's what we'll do.
And the reason why, I don't mean to interject with Jeremy, but the reason why he's saying get on the call is because we don't want the number to be what scares you, right? Because when you really run down the numbers of what it costs to have everything, you're actually winning. It's just, we help you with financing. If that's the case, right? We can in-house finance. We can set you up on a financing company, whatever that is, right? But the point here I'm trying to make is that in Crib, our goal is to help you close. Like, we don't sell, we've learned not to sell $99 a month or whatever that is, right? Unless you're like in South Carolina, you can't really do anything about that. But we don't sell it that way. It's a high ticket. Look, people enjoy their life while they ran up that debt. So they got to take the bullet a little bit and say, you know what? I'm going to spend more than $1,000, no more than $2,000 on fixing my credit. And if I got to pay some debts, then I'll pay those debts, right? Whatever that may be. But that mentality has to be there. If you're scared of spending your money, then you're not the right person to get credit repair. You should be able to go out there and learn. Wait for the statute of limitations. Don't apply for nothing else. Just wait for the statute of limitations to be done, right? 7, 10 years, whatever that takes. Who knows? But because it depends on when you got your accounts, right? Or when is the latest data of activity on those accounts. But what I'm trying to say here is this: Crib is not a one size fits all, right? So we don't want number to be the reasoning, right? If somebody says it later, I don't care, but we're never going to change. And if somebody says the price, we're going to go up. So if y'all start talking about price after you sign up for credit repair, price is going to go up. I'm going to make sure you're the one that everybody knows and they're going to attack you, right? Because it's not about the price.
That was me.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to get at, right? So our goal with that is we help you with the marketing, we help you with everything, right? And the goal with that is to help you close 10 clients at a minimum. Our average is about LTV, which is long-term value for a client, is about $1,000, right? So when you do the math, you got 10 clients a month that we're closing, whether it happens 10 a month or 30 in 90 days, whatever that is, right? The point is that we're going to do 10 a month at a minimum of 100 to 120 clients at the end of the year. That $1,000 times that, if you're good with math, right, that tells you that you're going to make anywhere between $100,000 to $120,000 in your first 12 months in business.
And that's what our team works for. That's our goal for anybody that signs up for Crib. So our team is going to be on you. Anybody that signed up for Crib now will tell you man, those guys be on me. They be calling me. They got their VAs on me and everything, because our goal is to help you make, you know, that 120,000, 120 within the first 12 months in business.
Okay. And that, what y'all just said is 100% how we do our intakes as well, because it isn't a one size fits all. Like fixing your credit or building your credit, everybody's different. If John Doe comes to me with the 512 and Mary Doe comes with me with the 612, chances are their profiles are going to be drastically different. That's why your scores are 100 points off. So I'm not going to say, hey, both of you guys do this. It might work for Mary, but it might not work for John, you know. But if I look at John's profile and I say, okay, John, you need to do 1, 2, 3, but Mary, you need to do X, Y, Z. We can get you both to a 700. It's 9 times out of 10 it's going to take John a little longer because, you know, he's lower. But that's why it's important to have these calls, guys. So if you guys can see the QR code, I got the demo video at the bottom. I'm not sure, Crib, how would they get in contact with you guys for Crib? I know the Damien, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. When you go to the pricing page, well, first thing, the link is going to send you to the video or the demo so you can understand what it is, right? And then it's going to run. There's a button that takes you to the pricing page. And once you're in the pricing page, you're going to see 3 options, which is the Soul CRO. That one is not active right now, so you might want to sign up through that and it's not going to get activated for you. We're not activating that right now because we're making that software by itself. That's going to be free, but you have to go through our coaching program. We're giving KP and Charnice a special code that's going to be just for them. Once that's done, give us about a couple days. Just keep in touch with us. You could schedule a discovery call. How you'd schedule a discovery call is through the Crib one, which is the last one, is Go CRO. So you have the small plan, which is Soul CRO. That's going to be the free software. But you have to go through the coaching. We need to make sure, I don't care if you've been in this game for 15 years or 2 months, right? Or even yesterday, you have to go through our coaching because we're doing something different. It's not just, hey guys, you want to get into credit repair? Hey guys, we're not that guy, right? I don't know if you catch on to what I'm doing there, but we're not that guy, right?
Hey, you see him, KP? Hey, you see him?
It was an indirect shot. I'll let it slide.
Yeah, he did.
I don't have my head in the clouds, bro. I have my head in real life.
Changed his voice and everything.
Right?
Hey, guys.
All right. So I'm trying to get at it. The software is going to be free, and we want to make sure, you know, we're big on compliance. We talk to a lot of the industry professionals that are not just credit repair companies. They have power in the industry, right? And compliance is a big thing. Keeping your money when you work, you know, keeping your money doesn't mean I'm going to keep my money and run and change merchants. No, it means that you did the right thing, right? So that's why we want to make sure you go through that course. But again, that price for that course is $3,000, right? If you go with KP's link, it's going to be only $1,000 off. It's only going to be $2,000, and then that's a free software for life. But you have to go through our coaching, right? So it's basically free software for life as long as you're being coached through us. And the other one is the Pro, which basically means that you already got a business, you already know what you're doing. Then go ahead, go for the Pro. Even there is a $2,000 setup fee, but then you get the software, the automations, and all of that stuff together. You'll get that in there. But it's that one is $297 a month because we're giving you support. On the Soul CRO, the support is in the Facebook group. On the Pro plan, the support is going to be with our support team. And then the Go, which is the credit repair in the box, that support is with our team, but direct access to me and Jeremy. And even though everybody's in our group and you're seeing this live in our group, we still love everybody. But, you know, I've noticed that when I stopped answering my phone for the last 2 weeks, or I stopped answering people in the DM, I got more work done. Why? Because I give too much and I stop what I'm doing to help someone. And that's hurting the industry as a whole. So I need to move away from that and only really specifically work with those that are really invested in that level, right? Now, it doesn't mean that we're going to stop caring about the people down at the bottom in the sense of, not the down at the bottom, the sense, I mean, like at the left, right? With the Soul or the Pro, we're still there, right? We're still going to be in our group. We're still doing these type of calls like with KP, even do them in our group. We're still doing these things so we can teach. But when it comes to that one-on-one time, yeah, like it has to stop. And it has to stop only because it's for the greater good of the industry. And I hate it because, I'm probably getting DMs about it right now. Okay, no, thank God. Right, and I hate it because I try to be there. And Jeremy cusses me out. I'm telling you right now. Jeremy, January 1st, Jeremy said our resolution. He said it, right? And I have to go by it. He said our resolution is invoice and boundaries. That's it, because we're never going to make any money. the way that we want to free ourselves, and we're never going to be able to be there for everybody if we're just, helping that
you
one.
notice that, and I'm sure Jeremy already noticed it. Watch how many people fall off. All those people that were on your team and wanted help and all that. As soon as you send them a paid consultation link, oh, I don't need help anymore, KP. You know what I'm saying? I was just playing. Were you? Because you drained me for like 6 to 10 hours a week for free shit. But as soon as I give you this $100 consultation, you don't need help anymore. That's funny to me, right?
And then you change.
Yeah.
But it's not that we change, it's just that we learn. And there's nothing against anyone, really. I still want to be there. I want to get to the point where I don't have to be in the back end of the software anymore building this out. I want to be to that point where I can be in the front end. And then you're going to see me live every day in the group, and we're going to talk deep in the group, right? But I just need to get to that point. And I think that CRO is helping us, kind of following the sequence. We have a support team. We have a support process. But it's easier just to message me, Jeremy, to get the answer. And it's nothing against anyone personally. Please don't take it wrong. It's just we really need to focus on this, because you keep having issues is because we're being on a call rather than being in the software, right? So that's where it comes from. And thank y'all for not hating me for what I'm saying, because it's not, y'all know, if you know me, you know my heart is pure. It's not, it's about really helping us. So that answer it, Crib, yeah, it's not just for everybody. When we get on the discovery call, if we feel like Crib is not your way to go, we're not going to sell it to you. Me and Jeremy are not just about letting CROs in. Like I said, this all has to go through a process of learning compliance.
Let's go. So TikTok.
Good. And I'm glad you said that, because some people don't care. They don't care if they have people that sign up for their software or their services. They just don't care. It's like, you are making me money, and that's the end goal. It's not actually to teach you anything, which, the voice that you had a moment ago, it's literally buy my, and I don't even care. It's a buy my shit moment. You know what I'm saying? And all right, bye. And before you know it, you've been bamboozled. So I'm glad that you guys, are transparent in that regard, so that there is no, questions left unanswered, and people need that. Whether they think they need it, whether they think yes or no, they absolutely need that.
And we invite that in our group, Charnice, KP. We invite that. We don't take anybody away from that. And you'll see in our groups too. Like if you're coming to our group and just posting like, "Hey, y'all are dumb and y'all should be using my system," and if you're like that, bro, we don't care about you. We'll make fun of you in our group. We'll be like, ha ha ha. We'll make fun of you because don't do that. We don't mind you selling your products in our group, but we have to be sure that if we're protecting the consumer and the CROs, we have to be sure that you're vetted and you're not BSing people and taking their money and then you're riding around. That's not us. If you want to do that, go play martial arts with somebody else, right? Don't do that over here.
Look, we should have came up with different names for our groups, because I just posted on my story mustard and tea. And I was like, that sounds nasty as hell.
Must tea.
That's must tea, right?
Hey, but it's like this, man. We spilling the tea, we spilling mustard, whatever. We dripping it on everything. So I just appreciate you having us on here, man. That
man. Anytime. Look, y'all know, like Damien said, me and Damien we talk random as hell. Like Damien will call me, or I'll call him just on a random Wednesday at like 4 p.m. Like, hey, bro, I got this issue. And it's just like, and like Damien said, this is why I love his heart, because, sorry, I just got in trouble. Use my inside voice. My wife is teaching me.
Oh, man, my wife did that to me.
I just got yelled at. I'm sorry. Let me start over. So yeah, but Damien, and not even thinking, obviously we're all business owners, but I don't think like, damn, he might be doing something. I just think like, yo, let me hit my bro real quick, because I know he'll have the automation answer or something I need. I don't think there's ever been a time where Damien hasn't answered the damn phone, like literally. And it's bad, and I'm sorry I apologize to Mustard for doing it, but I don't even think like that. And I know that's probably the thought process of smaller entrepreneurs. And I need to be more courteous of what he's doing, because me knowing Damien, I'm sure you do too, Jay, he's going to answer and he's going to help you. Shit, Damien being on calls with me for like 2 hours, helping me troubleshoot some shit, teaching me shit. And I'm like, damn, it never occurred to me. He doesn't charge me. He doesn't ask me to barter anything. He just gives me the answer. It helps me. And now that I'm on a podcast with you guys, I'm like, damn, I took 2 hours away from Mustard, and he didn't bat a finger. He didn't point nothing. He didn't say, okay, P, send me 150. I ain't buying Starbucks. I feel like an asshole now. Now I'm like, damn, I could at least send him some coffee.
You should feel bad.
We're gonna send him an invoice. But no, the thing is too, man, like if you go through our inboxes and stuff, you'll see us communicating with other software owners, people that you would look at and say, well, that's a direct competitor to Mustard. Like we're giving them ideas, they throwing out stuff to us. It's about collaborating, because there's a group of people that's not gonna like us, that's not gonna like working with Mustard, that's not gonna like working with me or Damien, and we understand that. But we don't want the industry to be affected because you don't want to work with us because of whatever reason. There's another software, there's another company that's doing it. They got good heart. Those are good people. We like to see the good people win. And that's the thing. So there are people that I have conversations with that I'll spend 2 hours on the phone with and know I'm not going to send them an invoice, because I'm getting just as much from them as they're getting from me. You know what I'm saying? It's like building us up together. That's one thing. But when you got a bunch of other people that want this and want that and want that and want that, yeah, you got to start saying, okay, let's set these boundaries up, because I can't spend 5 hours a day dealing with people's wants when I got a whole system of people that have needs that I have to cater to. And so it's just mapping that stuff out. So Damien appreciate those conversations. I never get invited to y'all's conversations, but that's cool. I get it. KP, don't call me for 2 hours. That's cool.
Nah, man.
And I'll be honest, and I'm gonna say it, like the other software that we talk to is Dustin. We love Dustin. We've told him things prior for things happening to him, and he told us things prior for things happening to us. So I don't care. Hey, Matt Listro's got a software too. I don't care. There's Steve Palmieri's coming up with something now too, right? And these are all guys in their own rights, have some strength and power inside of what Creditor is. And I don't care. Like, if it's not with us, it's somebody else. I'd rather you go there than go to the hello. Right? Because that hello guy, he's in trouble right now too, for reasons, He don't care.
Hey, Damien, you are killing me, bro.
Hey, he wild, man.
Wait till you see the commercial that I built out for him. Wait till you see the commercial I built out for him.
That's too funny. But yeah, man, look, we appreciate you guys, man. Everything that you offer, and like you said, we're the same way with T. That's why we have so many different hosts come on, and people are like, yo, you having them come on, don't they? No, they don't. And even if they did, it doesn't hurt us, because like you just said, it's like, for us, everybody doesn't want to work with T, and that's fine. We don't want to work with everybody. So if we can find people that offer, we can find a T replica, somebody that does exactly what we do, and we will still have them come on the podcast, because at the end of the day, we just can't service everybody, And just like the CROs, like you guys, when you're building a community of CROs need to understand, or all entrepreneurs, all business owners in any industry need to understand that there are too many people for you to serve yourself. That applies to every industry in the entire world of industries. Why do you think that there's a Walmart and a Target across the street from each other? Why do you think that there's a McDonald's, a Wendy's, a Burger King, and a Taco Bell literally all in eyesight? Because everybody, you can't service everybody. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, once you understand that, you're really going to open your mindset to being able to help who you want to help, and not just money. And I know, at the very beginning, that's what we started at. Once you put your heart into it, it's like, yo, we're helping people do this. Oh, you are too? Great. Fuck it. Let's work together. Because, hell, you guys are in different states. We don't have to name the states, but all four of us, well, me and Damien, we were both in Florida, but all four of us are in different states. So we're covering ground all over the place. I don't know anybody on the West Coast, but that's not to say that there isn't a T variant in the West Coast that we don't even know of. What's stopping us from reaching out to them and expanding what we do? So it's like, I love what you guys do. Both of you guys, I see you in multiple groups. Look, I'll join new groups, and I'll be like, oh shit, Jeremy, what the hell? And then I see Damien, and I'm like, okay, cool. So we already preaching. But my tactic, and it's nothing against you guys or nobody else, but my tactic is I try to be the first in groups. You know what I'm saying? I try to be the first. I'm trying to be a pioneer. I don't want to add on. But when I join groups that you guys are already in, I already have an idea. Like, all right, cool. They're already in here helping. Let me help in another way. I don't ever overstep. I don't ever want to overstep. And I appreciate you both. Thank you guys for joining the podcast, man.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, man.
And
Appreciate you.
I invite you guys to always come in our group and give some knowledge if you want to, and whatever you want. I mean, it's not, we know you're good people. Everybody's got their reasoning as to why I suck, why you suck. So I don't care.
Right.
They
Right.
suck too,
What we gonna do? Go ahead. I mean, you everybody can close out, but when we end it, don't leave. We'll just end the stream because I know you guys wanted to chat with Sharnice or whatever. So
okay.
Go ahead. If you want to close out, I'll let you guys close out.
Yeah, no, I was just saying that if you guys are more than welcome, Sharnice, KP, we have Dustin do the same thing. I don't care. Dustin has even promoted his software in our group. As long as you're doing right by the consumer and the CRO, we don't care. Just talk to us first and let us know. Because we want to make sure you're not taking people's money and running. Just take it. You got to make sure we're taking care of the consumer. So again, I invite you to come to our group. It's Mustard. Just go to Facebook and put Mustard Credit Repair, and you'll find it there. But give knowledge, learn some stuff, whatever it's going to take for us to help as many consumers as possible. I'm for it. And thank y'all for having us here.
No problem. All right, let me